I am Comrade Sergeant Che from the Black Riders Liberation Party. We fully support the Oscar Grant family. We demand that the law be changed. We feel that this dirty pig cop should be penalized by death under capital punishment. We do not believe in allowing enemies to be prosecuted by their colleagues.
Say that.
This cop is an employee of this racist judicial system, and they will not bring justice to him, so we cannot depend on cops to bring justice to other dirty cops.
Say that.
No, we must defend ourselves. We have a constitutional right to defend ourselves against these racist pigs that continue to terrorize us in our communities. We have a right to bear arms and defend ourselves in armed struggle. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Damn.
The next speakers we have coming up are from Revolution Books, Libros.Revolution, Nicole and Reiko.
We are all here today because we saw the video from Oakland of the brutal murder of Oscar Grant, and we know that this is a concentration of what life is like for Black and Latino youth. And we saw the people in Oakland rise up, and we know that that was right. And now it is our responsibility in Los Angeles to carry on the fight for justice. We are all Oscar Grant. Todos somos Oscar Grant.
And more important, protest and rebellion is the only reason the cop was charged, the only reason there is a chance for justice for Oscar Grant. There was no reason to move the trial. Protest is legal and protest is necessary, and it was righteous what people did. Why have the powers gone to such great lengths to deny justice?
Because their whole system rests on the violent suppression of the people, Black and oppressed people in particular. And it points to the cold truth that brutalizing, terrorizing, and yes, murdering oppressed people, especially Black people, is what the police are supposed to do, and not to protect and serve, but to keep people down. The whole damn system is guilty. El maldito sistema entero es culpable.
Thousands of people, many right here in LA, have been murdered by the police. In fact, this happens every day. But what does not happen every day is for a cop to be charged with murder. Messerly is the first cop in known history in California to be charged with murder committed while on duty.
All the people in LA who want to see an end to the police blowing away Black and brown youth need to take up this battle from our sisters and brothers in Oakland and spread it far and wide. It's an urgent need for all of us here and many, many others who hear about this today to step up to this challenge and be a part of the resistance to convict Johannes Messerly of murder and win justice for Oscar Grant.
Yeah.
This resistance can and must be a part of a new revolutionary movement aimed at getting rid of a system that requires and unleashes murdering cops to enforce the whole setup. A revolutionary movement fighting for a new society and the emancipation of all humanity.
What's your name?
Nicole Lee.
No, with the mic. Just get in front of the microphone and give us your names.
My name is Reiko Redman. I'm from Berkeley Revolution Books, and this is Nicole Lee from Revolution Books, Libros.Revolution here in LA. And we're saying it is up to all of us who want to see a different world to join together and fight for justice for Oscar Grant. And more of that, you know, imagine if people were no longer fighting each other and were instead fighting the system together? Imagine if young Black and Latino people weren't crammed into prisons, weren't sent over to kill people in Afghanistan and Iraq, but instead were working together to build a new society, applying their creative energies, and if they were no longer demonized and feared.
So we say, fight the power and transform the people for revolution. Lucha contra el poder y transformar al pueblo para la revolución. Gracias. Okay, Nicole Lee, N-I-C-O-L-E-L-E-E, and Reiko Redmond, R-E-I-K-O-R-E-D-M-O-N-D-E.
All right, up next we have Kayla from Anakbayan, LA.
Yeah, the sun is
Kayla
terrible.
de los Reyes, capital D-E, capital L-O-S, capital R-E-Y-E-S. Anakbayan, Los Angeles stands in solidarity with Oscar Grant, his family, and all victims of police murder and brutality. As a youth organization, Anakbayan, Los Angeles recognizes that youth of color are especially vulnerable to violent attacks by police and law enforcement officials because of the state's overarching criminalization of youth of color to feed the prison industrial complex. This multi-million-dollar industry fills its pockets as young people waste away behind bars. The extreme excessive use of force is repeated over and over again in the hundreds of cases we see caught on camera and posted on YouTube, and thousands more are undocumented. Our communities are suffering as a result of the state's brutality. It is a violence that is depriving our youth of education by pushing tuition fees through the roof and doling out our taxpayer money to bail out the most undeserving, greedy few at the top. We cannot allow these injustices to go unpunished. In the Philippines, our sisters and brothers are experiencing the reality of uncontrolled, state-sponsored violence, torture, abduction, and killings of thousands of innocent civilians under President Arroyo's U.S.-sponsored totalitarian regime. As we fight to punish Patuan Jr. and his cronies for the most heinous pre-election massacre of up to 64 people in Maguindanao, we also vow not to let California's government get away with murder. Anakbayan demands justice for Oscar Grant, justice for all victims of corrupt government. Maki baka!
Wag matakot!
Wag matakot!
Maki baka!
Brothers and sisters, this means dare to struggle. Do not be afraid. Thank you.
Your name, please, once again, and affiliation.
Kayla de los Reyes, capital D-E, space capital L-O-S, space capital R-E-Y-E-S, and I am with Anakbayan, Los Angeles, of Bayan, USA.